So when you're out in the woods and you're looking for a spot to build a bushcraft shelter, there's 4 W's that you got to keep in mind. There's water, there's wigglies, there's widowmakers, and there's wind. So the first thing is you want to be near a water source. So in our case here, we've got a river. The other thing to keep in mind with a water source is you don't want your shelter to be too close to a river. So that if the river starts to swell with heavy rains, your shelter is nowhere close to the overflow. The other thing to keep in mind with that is you want your shelter to be elevated somewhat. You don't want it right down in a valley in case there is heavy rains and there's runoff, and then all of a sudden that little valley you're in turns into a new river or a stream. Then your shelter is underwater. The second thing is the wigglies. So when you're building a bushcraft shelter, you want to keep an eye out for stuff like ants' nests, wasp nests, and you also want to get your shelter off the ground if possible, so that it keeps it away from the wigglies, which usually are on the ground. The third thing is widowmakers. So widowmakers are dead trees and branches that, if there's a gust of wind, they could fall on your shelter. So stuff like this, right? This thing right here, all dead trees sticking up. So you wouldn't want your shelter next to that. It could fall on you. Or in a situation like this, this is where one did fall. So if you had your shelter there, that would really suck. The third thing, that's back to the widowmaker. So that ties into the fourth thing, which is wind. And like I said before, with widowmakers, the dead trees, dead branches that could fall on your shelter usually fall in heavy winds. And then that ties into the actual location for your shelter. You want to be out of the wind. You don't want to be exposed. So being out of the winds definitely would increase the comfort level of your shelter. Able to retain heat more. So that's the 4 things when you're looking for a bushcraft shelter: water, wigglies, widowmakers, and wind. And then you just start building it.